On the track at Penn State, veteran coach Terry Jordan is supervising the workout of one of her prize athletes, former Army medic Courtney Clemens. His dream is to represent the U.S. in 2 different events at the Paralympic Games in Beijing next summer. One is the 100-meter dash.
He's very fast, and he was a cornerback football player, and so, it was natural speed. Right now, it's the prosthetic. We need to tweak that and biomechanically get that to keep up with him. And once we get that, he's going after records.
Courtney lost his right leg and visions of an NFL career just weeks before he was planned to be discharged. Near the end of his deployment, he was showing replacement troops Baghdad duty locations when they came upon an overturned Humvee and 3 injured MPs. As they began to provide assistance, another IED went off, ripping apart his leg. The leg was amputated above the knee. He was sent to Brooke Army Medical Center in Texas to recuperate. Sergeant Courtney Clemens has been fitted with what's called a C-leg. A computer chip in the prosthetic knee controls balance, strike, and other aspects of walking.
It builds a morale. It's just like a regular person. It's just something that you deal with internally. You become comfortable with it. Once you can accept what happened to you, then you can move forward. But if you don't ever accept what happened to you, it's real hard to cope with it. For a while there, I was pretty down in the pits about losing my leg because I feel like I didn't have anything to offer anymore.
When he was most down, he began to lift weights. He met Terry Jordan on a visit to a disabled powerlifting competition in Philadelphia. Coach Jordan encouraged him to come to Penn State. Although Courtney's done well in international powerlifting competitions, he dreams of setting records in the 100-meter dash. His times have improved from 18 seconds to as fast as 14.18. He's qualified for the U.S. team in the Pan American Games this year, and he dreams of running and powerlifting in Beijing next year.
Whether I win a gold or whatnot, it's just the journey, just getting there. Once I walk away at the end of the day, I know I gave all I have, and it's going to help me once I go out and work into the workforce, because we're going to be competing for the rest of our lives for jobs or whatever. So this actually just helps me sort of put things in perspective and also teach me a lot of patience.
He's majoring in recreational management and hopes to eventually work in a program that provides services to disabled vets.
I like the military. I miss it, actually. I really do. I miss the people. You get a chance to hang out and hang out with all type of people from all walks of life.
The former medic hopes he can be a source of inspiration to service members recovering from the wounds of war.
I would say for the most part, I would say it's a lot of guys out there with disabilities from the war, amputation, traumatic brain injuries and stuff like that are striving to get back out in society. That I'm not the only one. There's some great guys out there, and just to show how great the American spirit is and not to give up.
I'm looking forward to the deployment. I like being over there and doing my job and knowing that I'm there to take care of the people. And I'm sure every other medic feels the same way. He was hit by a taxi.
Private Mandy Gardner is a 101st Airborne Division medic. The Screaming Eagles are expecting orders to deploy to Iraq again in the second half of 2007. Private Gardner saw plenty of serious injuries during her first deployment.
When you're working on the patient, you don't think about it because it's an adrenaline rush for me. After the patient leaves and they're medevaced or wherever they go after you, it hits you what you just saw or what you just did.
Private Gardner graduated from the Tactical Combat Casualty Care class here at Fort Campbell. The unique approach to teaching combat medicine developed here in recent years is one of several things that contribute to major improvements in the survival rate for battlefield casualties.
There has been a dramatic decrease in the rate of died of wounds.
From World War II till the end of the 20th century, at least 1 out of every 4 service members wounded on the battlefield died. The Army-wide survival rate for wounded soldiers now averages 91% in Iraq and Afghanistan. The 101st Airborne has done better than that. In Operation Iraqi Freedom 1, more than 97% of its wounded survived. Tough and realistic training of medics is part of the reason for that success.
We've given them the basic skills, we've shown them their equipment, we've shown them how to use it in a controlled environment. Now let me put you into massive chaos and see if you can reproduce those skills.
The final exam for the Tactical Combat Casualty Care course uses the artificial chaos of a darkened battle room, where young medics have to find and treat mannequins representing wounded soldiers. That follows an obstacle course meant to exhaust them physically. Most students who did well in the obstacle course struggled in the battle room.
He was dead. You wasted your time and your equipment on a dead guy.
Private Gardner struggled mightily pulling her patient, but succeeded in the battle room, the only student to correctly identify and treat an exit wound on one mannequin.
I read a really good book about a medic in Vietnam that his first patient died because he didn't find an exit wound.
Exactly.
So I always remember
that. And that sticks with you. And that sticks with you.
That training helped a lot, especially the lighting situation and all the loud noises they had going on inside the room. That was realistic to a lot of the casualties that I came in contact with while I was deployed. I would have liked to have pulled a smaller guy. That's about it. He was huge. Other than that, it was great. It was great training.
I mean, there is no greater educator than experience. I mean, bottom line.
After every traumatic incident.
The emphasis on medical education for everyone is pervasive at Fort Campbell. Here, the leadership of a transportation company with no assigned medic gets a detailed briefing from seasoned medic Staff Sergeant David Portillo. Sergeant Portillo has seen hundreds of combat casualties, and he's ready for the next deployment.
My first 8 years in the Army, I'd never deployed, and I thought I was spinning my wheels. Now I'm getting to go a lot, and I think that's our job. That's why we're in the Army, and this is my job. This is why I'm in the Army, to actually do something, not just train.
Medics are a dedicated lot. The Recon school continuously refines its curriculum with lessons learned from each new deployment.
We owe it to every single soldier that comes in here that we give them the best opportunity to train so that they can go out and be successful on the battlefield. And then that way their peers, my fellow countrymen and women, they can come home to their loved ones.
Oh, I love my job. I wouldn't want to do anything else in the Army or in the world.
I love the way my life is right now. It's hard, it's not easy, but I don't regret it one little bit.